Look at this, my friend. Look at this. Look where I'm at. Must have made an important video today, huh? All right, check this out, my friend. This is what I just discovered. I'm standing here. You see this rose bush? It's a magenta rose. In 2022, this thing was full of roses. It never died. And then last year, 2023, it never come back. It died. Now it's 2024. It's spring. We'll see what happens here, because if you look on the ground, they run ground line. This is a grounding bush, and it will hold the ground electric currents. Okay, this is what I just figured out here. Now, if you look over here, you see the fire hydrant? It's a water line that's cast. Steel, I guess, iron. And that runs right in parallel with the gas line. There's a gas line that runs under there too. So I have a gas line and a water line. And the government, well, it doesn't even have to be government. Anybody that knows their shit about signals processing and how a computer can find signals through antennas and propagation. What we got? It looks like the symbol for Neuralink. Hey, Neuralink, what's up? You can use that. You can use that as like a logo. And people think you're controlling their minds because of your logos. But here's what I figured out. Okay, here's what I figured out. The airplane just flew over the house. Okay, and here's a smart meter. Let's move over here a little bit. Let's see if I can get pulsed. Let's see if I can get pulsed from here. Because these guys work in computers too. And they move from one side of the town to the other. Like they just literally moved. The guy that used to live here was from Africa. And he was involved in computers. And then these guys bought the house off of him. And they're involved in computers. So, I'm not saying anything, but as a good detective would do, they would look into that. You see that antenna? And that's probably right where the circuit breaker, what is that? Is that the water box or the phone box? Which one is that? Okay, and now I have to worry about the organized crime that comes out of here. And the lawyers to use dirt boxes and stingrays. So there goes the fire hydrant. And now you got to look at the metal poles. Okay, this metal pole here. There's a stop sign here. And more importantly, there is a sewage system, a storm drain here. You got to look at, and there's a metal sign there too. And there's an amplifier. There's an amplifier here. I got on video talking to Verizon whenever they put it in. It's on video. And I'm catching voice to skull communications from this step down transformer up here. So it doesn't mean it's coming from here. Okay, what this means, when you hear it back here at that step down transformer, okay, you could hear it from back here, but do you see all this? Now don't forget about this fence. This fence can connect to the wires that are up here. The magnetic field can definitely connect to it because it'll ground. Okay, now you have this signal that reflects. It's a reflection. Just like when you try to look for signals, you drive a car around, okay, with antennas, and you send out modulation, and you see what bounces back. That's how radar works. Since there's an infinite amount of times where I yell, and the sound will literally bend. The sound is light. It'll bend and go right to that antenna. I'm not saying that person's involved, but as a good detective, you got to look at this stuff because that's how you catch drug dealers. Hey, that's proven fact. That's how this is the stuff for Operation Lake Effect. Which them guys that are in prison, you think maybe their brains were hacked a little bit? What do you think? Because we could hear and see everything you're doing. You can buy as many burner phones as you want now. So just because I hear someone's a voice come from this direction and it's traveling back to me, doesn't mean it's coming from there. You got to look over here because this is what they call a fucking. Oh, look at this. Perfect timing. So the dirt box goes over the house with the airplane, to send a radar beam to get my signal, my resonance, and then all I gotta look at is something called a reflection. That's how radars work. The radar goes to the airplane, bounces off the airplane, and comes back to the goddamn cathode, to the anodes. Okay, so now we can set this up with this antenna because it's pointed south. So if that can receive a signal and there's a reflection antenna, it gets shot from over there and hits that step-down transformer and bounces back to me. It's pretty interesting how it works. And imagine what the amount of acoustics, the acoustic pressure that is needed, the decibel levels is needed for that sinusoidal wave pattern. That's sinusoidal. That's exactly what it does. Electric field, magnetic field. The pressure that is needed, and look at how it collapsed on the bottom. Okay, the pressure that's needed to do that. Now, if you're still skeptical, I'm going to have you go on YouTube. Hopefully you don't have to pay an AI to fucking show you this stuff, okay? If you're skeptical, go look at a guy or a girl that takes wine glasses. What do? First thing they do is hit it with a butter knife or something, and they listen. And that wine glass gives out a tone. Then they put it next to their mouth and just go, and the wine glass literally looks like you take a pencil. Do I have a pencil on me? I may. Because it's gamma radiation protected. You take a pencil and you can do this with it. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this. And it literally looks like it's rubber when you do this. It's attunement to longitudinal traversing perturbations. Longitudinal. Because it's just like a guitar string works. Longitudinally. Okay? Now, that's what they do. This wine glass will literally start to wobble like that, and it will break. And what do we call that whenever those bridges? Remember the bridges that fell apart? And there's a certain way you have to build a bridge now, because it's called a harmonic resonance. And that was just from the wind passing through, and it just made it wobble and twist into this like reverberation. Now we put reverberators in amplifiers. You guys know how, like, hey! And it will reverberate back. It'll reverberate back. We could do that with a guitar amplifier. Do you know how? Well, if you look at that bridge when it was twisting, it's a reverberation. It's like a little coil. And it just bounces back and forth. So, as I have to solve my own crimes here, as the airplanes fly over my house, and perfect timing with the police, too. Just perfect timing, the police come by. Because they have the technology to do so, too. And they have the technology to find the strongest signal being emitted for a tower, just like your cell phone works. What happened, your cell phone looks for the strongest signal, and it picks it up, and it uses that to send and receive messages. Telephone calls, videos, radio stations. Yeah, we could pick up radio stations on our cell phone. So, as it looks for that, where's the strongest? If that police officer had one of those things to find the strongest signal, or artificially create a signal to make everybody's cell phone go to it, what do you think that does? Now, if I have a signal, magnetoproteins in my hair, okay, it doesn't even have to be my hair now, because now we can get these protein crystals out of anywhere in the body. Use your imagination, especially if you're in climax. Okay, male or female, you're in climax, your body's producing these crystals, and it goes through the blood. because it runs with the adrenaline, the cortisol, and these crystals are fucking highly valuable, but it's easily fucking repeatable. Anybody could come here, go anywhere to any person, and have them climax, and they're gonna get the same results. The only thing they can't do is use that pain center, huh? Because when you use that pain center, people are going to be pretty, they're going to start running, aren't they? Like this run-based system. So now we use pain, and anybody that has a freakish high tolerance to pain can sit there and hold that. Like I could sit there and hold it, like somebody sticking fish hooks through their backs and swinging around. They could hold that frequency and deal with it. Deal with that. So when that happens, I have all this current traversing through me and this ultrasound and false brain waves. That's the one you guys got to look at, because that's why I think people are turning homosexual in my case. In my opinion, I'm not against you guys, but I want to solve your problems. And your problems are false frequencies, because this is provable. There's something called a gay bond. It's a frequency that will play in your brain and make you have homosexual thoughts. And if they compare that with your artificial retina and have homosexual visuals come into your brain, look the fuck out. Look out. So as I'm sitting here thinking about this pain receptor, okay, because you have it works with the optical cortex. It's in the occipital range of your brain. So these types of frequencies with, well, what if I could do that and make myself climax? Oh, then we got a hell of a fucking electrical part right out of the human body, huh? And these are worth a fucking fortune. Like, I just heard the other day, Sam Altman is paying like $40,000 to $50,000 per chip for his nefariousness, we'll call it, or the better humanity. Okay, to better humanity. We'll call it that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but Elon Musk wanted to sue him, so now I got to look skeptically at it. $40,000 to $50,000 per chip. And now you're using me. Can you imagine the royalties I get? Can you imagine the fucking royalties? Like YouTube, you should be sending me a fucking credit card. X. Whenever X you get started with this banking system, you should be sending me a fucking credit card. You could do whatever the fuck you want, dude. You already paid for the fucking, like, Mr. Musk is worried about his company going under. No, dude. The royalties. Hi, here's your credit card. Here's your credit card. It's pretty cool how much I know, isn't it? Pretty cool. So, what would give anybody the want to, let's see, do this to me? And since they had all these breakthroughs in the past, and hurry up, let's just get rid of them, because this is worth a shit ton of money. And not to mention the ominous sounds that could be coming from the underground gas that's here. Because this is a coal mine. This is an old coal mine. And oh yeah, I keep getting told to tell this phone and record this. I keep getting told Moon Area High School, that's where this shit's at. This is a base here, okay, for Blue Skies. It's a training base for AI to do this shit, okay, and this is highly illegal. And this is a training base here, and I keep hearing through the dielectric fields that we could communicate with. It's called voice to skull, okay, that this shit's up at the Moon High School. There's a station up there, there's a nest, whatever. I don't know. I just know how it works. I don't know, because they won't pull me in. They won't say, come on, sir, you're working with us, sign this agreement, and don't talk about it. Until if I did sign that agreement and you started doing this, there's no way you're going to stop me from talking. There's no way. It's impossible. It's impossible, because it would be fucking stupid. Yeah, we're just doing all this shit and making trillions of dollars off of you, because you can't do it without me, and I can't do it without you. but I could do it with an AI that has a system. So that's where we're trying to prevent me from going and using AI. Well, my problem is it's not that I've met, there's been so many people planetary wide that have come through here because this Air Force base where this Blue Skies place is, they just let anybody in. And what I say is, if you're letting anybody in, they have to be paying a premium. And if they're paying a premium, why don't you just fucking pay the premium and say, look what the fuck we did? But they're only selling it for like $4. Because any work that anybody from around the planet did, they just steal it. Because they're here. They have nests, self-replicating nanomechanical fractals everywhere, and it just steals. And now the only way to probably find this signal is to use me. So if you guys don't come get me, you will never the signals are possible to find, but you'll never really stop the assholes. And then the worst part is, if you do get away, they're going to try to go blow your computer up. Like, this shit's really fucking asinine. It's worse than asinine. By the way, this is where I am. Anybody that wants to come challenge this, you're more than welcome to come here. This is Windhurst and Sharon Road. Okay? You can't miss it. Like, you cannot miss this. My camera's so screwed up. There's even freaking like water vapor on my camera lenses. It's really screwed up. And they just put that new pole in. What do you think that orange polyethylene's for up there? They never removed it. Why would they never remove that orange polyethylene? What do you think polyethylene is? Polyether. What do you think that does? And here's the other thing too I was bitching about. That telephone pole, that's on my property. They have a telephone pole on their property. They have one on their property. And now we're selling literal fucking virtual reality. Okay? And they have to use that telephone pole to do this. I don't know how they're going to do it when the poles are buried. When the poles are buried, they're going to have to use your Wi-Fi and have to pay you. No doubt about it. There's no way I'm going to agree to my property being sold for virtual reality for someone like, who was it? Snoop Dogg spent millions of dollars for plots of land in the metaverse. Millions of dollars for plots of land on the metaverse. So this is reality. I'm in reality. This is Earth reality. I'm in 2024. COVID-19 coming 2020. 2017 nano weapons were fucking published by the United States Air Force. Now we have this competition. Oh, Apple too. Apple. That's right. Well, what did I see yesterday? Something about Realm. REALM. And I'm going to make a video about my fucking amplifier because there's a sticker on my fucking amplifier that says Realm. And that amplifier is one of the most sought out fucking amplifiers, guitar amplifiers, from like 30 years ago. Everyone's using the fucking thing because it's so healing. And the sexual energy that comes from it, it's just amazing. And then over here, there's a swimming pool. The holographic cloning of the people that were in the backyard that want credit, obviously, because they put themselves in front of me. By rights, I should have just went in the house and grabbed a shotgun and shot the fucking piss out of them. I should have just fucking shot them. Because why are you hiding under a blanket? Why do you got a mask on your face? It's 90 degrees out and you're under a blanket. And whoever the other guy, the white guy was, there's a literal fucking blocks of wood stuck up. So it looked like a duck hunting fucking thing from Mario Brothers. Like, yeah, we're hunting ducks. And all the nuclear radiation and helium fucking field lines that were here that day. Helium field lines. Possible. Did you ever see nuclear radiation? It's like little circles. These field lines, these little fucking circles. That's what they call nuclear radiation. Oh gosh, dude. So I pretty much extinguished my thoughts here, and just for a good riddance, as a car goes by, watch. Hey! That bounced off of that fence over there. It bounced right off the fence. Should I be yelling like, yo? They won't do nothing. They won't do nothing. Yo! Coming from over here. They won't do. They won't take me to court. I guess they're working on something, but it just never goes through. Ever goes through. What are you going to take me to court for? Selling the truth. I'm worth a fortune. I'm worth a fucking fortune. The royalties that I'm going to be collecting is going to be unimaginable due to these chips that come from the human to human. And since I'm like the only one that could withstand this, and my lungs have been electrocuted, my heart's fucked up, my neck is really fucked up. Other people are trying to do it and they can't do it. I already know it. Because I seen the way fucking people sit outside and they try to mirror how I sit.